Welcome back to the Acer Team Story Cup. The score is currently 1-1 in this best of 9 between these two teams. Well, I guess technically 3 teams. Complexity-Dignitas versus Team Liquid. Spawning here in the bottom right corner of the map, though, just took a victory off of Tefl. It is Team Liquid's very own Bunny. And his opponent at the top left from Dignitas. He was watching the streams, so a little bit late to the party, but here nonetheless, the red Protoss, Bling. I gotta say, that's pretty cool though. I don't know, for me, I just kind of assume players don't really watch the streams while they're going on. I think some players do if they think they're going to be on deck and they want to kind of scatter at their opponent, but if Bling was just kind of watching to enjoy it, that's pretty awesome of him. Bling, of course, getting a little bit involved with WCS lately, the man with the tats. I don't know how he's going to fare against Bunny. Truth be told, Bling's not a terrible player by any stretch of the imagination, but I think Bunny's just on top of his game lately. His TVP's been pretty good in the past. Definitely not his best matchup by any means, but still pretty good nonetheless. And for Bling, I mean, let's be honest, guys, he hasn't been involved in much. I mean, he doesn't do many of the weeklies like he used to. You used to see him go for StarCraft almost every single week. He doesn't ever really take part in the bigger qualifiers, and when he does, he gets knocked out pretty early. So again, I'm not trying to paint a negative picture of Bling, but I don't know where he's at in his play styles right now. He could be like one of the players like Polt, who like he never plays in the weeklies anymore. He never streams, but when he does play, he's actually a kick-ass player. You know, it could be either way. I don't know. For the time being, though, let's read out these bets as they're all closed up. Final tally, guys. There's 1,540 bets placed in Complexity-Dignitas and 5,535 on Team Liquid. So I think you guys are going to get some pretty nice payouts today, regardless. Of course, one's going to be a little bit better than the other. And if we're going to be quite frank about this, guys, it's been the story of the underdogs lately on bet trips here for BaseTradeTV. I think Polt versus Violet was proof of that. That was like 40,000 partoofs on the line for that game, that series. Anyways, first Reaper coming out of here for Bunny. Gonna miss scout once, gonna miss scout twice without rally, but he'll eventually find out where Bling is at. I do like what Bling's done here with his buildings behind the mineral lines. This is something we're seeing a lot more common out of Protoss players because, I mean, it doesn't take much build order wise to shut Reapers down. And actually, I think the Reaper can. I think there's a space above that. I'm not actually entirely sure. But the thing is, you know, the Reaper, it's not like you're like, oh my god, he's gonna 5x Reaper me, I'm so screwed, I better build like this. It's more of just like, hey look, this thing's gonna be a nuisance to me. If I build like this, it limits the areas in which you can go. My mothership core can then kill it easier, and it gets less scouting. And of course, we all know how important scouting is on both sides of this matchup right now, both Terran and Protoss alike. For Protoss, of course, they're looking more for these earlier all-ins, or the more consistent all-ins coming out of Terran players lately. And for Terran, of course, they're scouting to look for those chances to all-in. It's a little bit sad to say, because I know the roles are starting to get a little bit reversed. I think, let's be honest, I think every caster and their mom was making jokes about Blink Stalker all-ins, and maps like Polar Night really made that possible. The new maps are so big, it's not impossible to Blink all-in with, but just like Alter Zeme, it's not a preferred choice. So what we're going to have out of Bling is 2 bases for the time being, but a Stargate opener behind this. And this isn't a proxy Stargate, this is probably just going to be strictly for an Oracle, but it may get cancelled if the Reaper gets a good scout off. That does have to go towards the right to find it. Getting a little bit greedy there for that probe. He's got to be careful. He jumps into the mineral line, grabs the probe, and does not see the Stargates. Ooh, for Bunny, that's a bit of a misstep. Of course, one of the big things you scout for as a Terran player is pylons. You know, you see a Nexus down on the way, not finished. You only see 2 of the pylons. You have to confirm there's 3 in base at this point. If there's not 3 pylons in base, either A, your opponent's hella supply blocked, or B, Bling has proxied something on the map. So it's a little bit disconcerting, but at the same time, looks like he's not freaking out too heavily about it. Gonna go back in for a second scout in a moment's time. But even though there is an Oracle on the way, ooh, actually, this isn't even though. These barracks have to complete in time, and he has to get 6 Marines out to deal with this. Now, he will confirm the Stargate. A little bit frustrating to see. Might get another probe kill. Looks like that is a full wall off. I wasn't sure. It just looked a little bit weird. Like, I don't know. It just looks like there's a path behind it. But yeah, so the Oracle's going to be a bit of a problem, I think, for one of these 2 bases. He can't cover both, and he's gone for triple command centers, so any losses he suffers, he'll be able to make up, no problem. But he might not have 6 Marines in each mineral line. And if you guys have seen it before, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. 5 Marines won't cut it. 4 Marines won't cut it. If you have any less than 6 Marines, this Oracle will kill every single Marine and then snowball out of control. So we actually have turrets coming down for Bunny. I'm not sure if we get to complete them both in time. Looks like they will, actually. The Oracle took a weird detour on the way on the way to the base. Like, it looked like it wanted to go to the natural and said, you know what? Let's go to the main instead. And let's take the scenic route while we're at it. But okay, gonna get maybe a kill or two. Ooh, that was greedy. That's going to cost him. With the Oracle going down, that's quite a hefty investment gone. He loses the option now to cast Revelation, and of course Bling no longer has the chance to come back for more workers later on. That's going to suck. That's going to hurt. He's taking a third Nexus pretty quickly behind this. Most scenarios, I think we call it greedy, air quotes. But in this particular instance, because the map is so big and it's going to take a long time for Bunny to start pushing, even with that stim timing completing, his Mothership Core should be able to just simply overcharge this to hold. Now, Bling is going for a really old school strategy here, guys. I didn't even realize this until I looked. Heading towards those armor upgrades for the charge lots. Wait, is there no Temple Archive started? Ooh, this makes no sense to me. Hang on, what? Okay, hang on. So, the way this is supposed to play out, he's going for 7 gates, really? Is he just going to try and brute force this? Okay, so the way this is meant to play out, guys, 8 gates. Okay, 3 bases, 8 gates you can actually sustain. The old school version of this was you'd build the Twilight Council, you get the charge, great, you get armor upgrades, fantastic, and of course then you try and get some storm tech behind this for area of effect. Charge lots are good, but they'll never contend with stimming bio. If there's concussive shells involved, it gets even worse. The choice for just raw zealots, okay, there we go, about time the Temple Archives came down. I don't like how delayed this was, though, because the longer he waited for this, you know, the longer it's gonna take Storm to research. It'll take a long time for Energy to like get up on those Archons, or on the Templar. He may be forced to make a couple Archons. Is the point I was gonna make here, because if Bunny pushes, just straight up Zealots aren't gonna cut it. What is it? The bravest scout I've ever seen goes forward, sees a third, dies, but shoots once or twice before dying. Man, how weird would StarCraft be if this was like real world war? Like, you know, it doesn't take like a million shots to kill a Marine, but like 2 bullets, you know, 3 bullets for a Zealot. Oh my god! Now I'm just thinking of like a use map settings game, like VTech or something. Anyways, we do concussive shells finishing up in a moment's time. Every Terran player is going to have Marauders out at some point because they're so gosh darn good at dealing with Stalkers in the first place. This push, though, really needs to be paired with medevacs to be perfect. And he's not really started any just yet. He's got 1. Let's be okay, I guess. 1 medevac, of course, not going to have a good time healing up a lot of stim bio units. Yeah, this composition for Bling, the reason this stopped working, and the reason we saw a lot of people start swapping the tech, is because EMPs are so easy to get now compared to the way they used to be. Widow Mines are so good at taking out those charge lots. I mean, whether you're using the EMP to blanket the storms, whether you're using the EMP to take the shields away from the Zealots, or if you're just producing Widow Mines, I mean, these are all slight changes to the Terran army that's made them a lot better, a lot more efficient at dealing with Protoss units. Now, Bling does have level 2 armor upgrades coming up in a moment's time. If that completes before this engagement, combined with a Guardian Shield, these Marines are going to be tickling these units, quite frankly. Even if you stim, even if you kite, if you're only hitting for like 3, it's going to hurt. So it's going to be, yeah, 3 armor, Guardian Shield's like, what, another 2? Yeah, so that's 5 damage reduction on top of Marines that are only hitting for like 7. It's pretty nice. Pretty nice stuff. But the storm is going to be really key to this. So it does actually complete before a timing in which Bunny hits. Again, I was a little bit worried that was like a little bit late, but I guess this just syncs up pretty nicely. Bling did also sneak in some pylons behind this, so the potential of a backdoor warp in, quote unquote, could be there. A 4th being built on location is incredibly ballsy, but yeah, middle of the map, a little bit worried, a little bit scared, does choose to disengage, but confirming all the Zealots and seeing that it is going to be this like older school composition, Bunny's making a ton of Widow Mines, and this is a very appropriate response. He actually catches all the Templar with a couple of bio, really nice job there actually, and he'll notice that the Zealots are walking around him. Now, these Widow Mines won't get a chance to burrow right away, or initially. Commander down here is cancelled, not killed, but he should be able to deal with this if done correctly. Again, the problem with Zealots right now, guys, Widow Mines will one-shot each Zealot, that's just granted. But more importantly than that, it strips their shields away so quickly. The area of effect accompanied with Widow Mines is just crazy. But you know what? Bunny's units are so out of position and so just all over the place. I don't know that he can actually fight this. The Widow Mines actually, 2 of them go down immediately. He needs every Widow Mine possible, of course, in this instance. All that splash damage is so crucial to this engagement, but he gets some good splash off. SCV's pulled to the front lines with no storms and no threat of AoE. He can do this. This will push back Bling for now. Bling he didn't make any more Templar behind this, so okay, that's awkward and strange and weird. I'm sorry, I glanced at chat. I think at the wrong second. I don't know what you guys are talking about right now, but Peggy Bread asks, how do you guys pronounce salmon? 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 I just say salmon. Like, I'm jamming with my salmon, man. I don't know. Oh wow, did Bunny actually do a drop? Okay, thank God I didn't miss that. Medevacs were just... What are these medevacs doing? Why are these not with the army? WTF, mates? Yeah, no damage here done. I don't know what this was about. But okay, he's got one full medevac, almost. 3 marauders, 1 marine. This could do a little bit of damage. Of course, we're seeing him go really medevac heavy because he doesn't have to go for Vikings. This makes it a little bit more efficient moving forward in the game. Some cute little drop micro there from Bunny, but boost the medevac away to keep it alive for another day. We'll save this drop. I don't know how, but somehow does. Unit's so out of position here for Bling, and again, there's no Storm Tech available right now, so this Nexus, which was sniped off earlier by that drop, which I'm just absolutely horrible and miss, is unfortunately not going to get a lot of damage done. Or will not get back up, rather. There's too much damage here for Bunny. I don't know what I'm saying in my brain right now, but as he starts kiting these ults around, even though they're in the Guardian Shield, they've lost a lot of their shields themselves. Forceful's going to work against them as the bio gets behind this. Bunny picks up with the medevac. Still a small squad of Marines over here that needs to be saved, will not be saved, but he also kills, not cancels this base over here with those couple Marauders while this is going on. So for Bling, whoa, this is not looking good for him. Really needs to get Storm back into play, but the reason he's not boggles my mind. He's going for Colossus Tech instead behind this, which isn't a terrible idea. I mean, the idea is whether you open with Storm or whether you open with Colossus, either way you want to leapfrog your way to eventually getting both available to you, but Bling is just playing without either right now, and this is hurting him more and more as the game goes on, as the game stretches forward. Lots of Zealots are really good. They can do a ton of damage, they can soak a ton of hits, but with 20 Marauders, 30 Marines, and a small counterattack across the field here for Bling, he's still just got no way to deal with the actual army. Look at the kiting. Concussive shells are just kicking the ass of these Zealots. Even though there's not a lot of Widow Mines over here, but if there were, these Zealots would be dead. Everything here is like 1 HP on it. Still relentlessly kiting for his life, though, is Bunny, and he will rightfully do that. Last couple of Marauders are Zealots are gonna start falling. There's no buffer left for this army. There's no Archons. There's no Storm. There's nothing to stop the bio, and here comes 10 Widow Mines. Oh my God! GG upon seeing the Widow Mines. Good game is called. Liquid's Bunny will take game number 3, giving Team Liquid a very nice lead now.